Hello everyone, I'm Natalie and this is Better Reading Kids. Tonight I'll be chatting all about the different books on my desk at the moment. We have a whole range of kids books to share with you all. We have picture books, chapter books, middle grade books and YA. I know we have many different types of people tuning in tonight and this is a live and interactive chat, so I'd love to know what the kids in your life are reading, and just leave a comment from wherever you're tuning in from, whether that's YouTube or Facebook, and we can chat all about books together. So I'm going to kickstart this What Are You Reading session with this lovely picture book called What Do You Call Your Grandma? So I'm going to read a bit of text from it. It's in every country around the world are grandmas short and tall. Though they go by different names, we love them one and all. So this stunning book is from the talented duo Ashley Barden and Martina Hajek. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a charming and heartwarming book that celebrates the many different ways that we say grandma. So it's got some stunning illustrations to accompany the text, and I've got some little tabs to show you that. So we've got this one here. You just have a look at that. All the different ways to say grandma. That's for Ama. And then you've got another one here. There we go. And at the end, it tells you which country the different words for grandma have originated from. So I describe this one as a love letter to grandmothers and families from every corner of the globe. And I'd recommend this one for readers 3+. Next up for picture books, we've got this one. It's actually just released today. It's called Lookbook. It's a dynamic and beautifully designed book, which is an interactive this or that alphabet book that shows me one thing and you another. So as an example, we've got J, jelly beans or jellyfish, and you've actually got both there. So it's twofold. It helps to build vocabulary with terms such as yoga, underwater, and jelly beans, as you can see, and more. Words we don't often see used for this age bracket. I found that it was pretty good, the fact that they had all these different kinds of words. But the book also teaches young readers about perspective and a new way of looking at things. So rather than just seeing one thing, we can actually see two, and something that might be a bit more obvious, like this, the jelly beans here coloured, something less obvious might also be there too, like the jellyfish in the grey. So this book I find ticks all the boxes. It's got vibrant colours and assists with building vocabulary and offers visual cues. Parents, I think, will delight in seeing what alphabet option their child is drawn to first. So will it be the coloured or the grey picture? And then I think you'll enjoy seeing the fascination in discovering that your child has noticed both options and that they're both there on the page. So I recommend diving into this colourful collection and seeing if your child has found a new way of looking at things. And I recommend this one for readers 2+. Next up are some chapter books. So first off, this one was just released last week. So grab a flashlight, crawl under the covers, and dive into the twisted, unexpectedly hilarious world of Rowley Jefferson's imagination. You'll meet zombies, vampires, ghosts, and much more in these comically terrifying tales. I was personally pleasantly surprised to see how much these spooky stories were actually imbued with inspiration and humour. So, for instance, the first story is about a boy named Rowan who goes through a significant visible change. While Rowan dreams of a normal life, it would come at a price of hiding who he really was from the rest of the world. But ultimately, Rowan wants to embrace who he is, regardless of what others think. And so I thought this was a really strong opening to the book, setting up how these spooky, friendly stories can really motivate young readers. But Jeff Kinney, who is also the author of the Wimpy Kids series, he's a trailblazer at giving outcasts a platform to embrace their differences and stand up for themselves. And this one is for readers age 7+. And it's also got that Wimpy Kid feel with the way that the book is designed, with the illustrations and diary-like entries. But yeah, this is from Rowley, the best friend of Greg from the Wimpy Kids series, as you can see there. Yeah. And next up, I'm going to bring out 4 books now rather than just one, is the School of Monsters series. This one is where you can meet different characters, a little witch, I'll try to find the correct book to go with it, a little witch, hairy Sam, long-legged Pete, and monster twins Deb and Dot. They're funny, silly, smelly monsters to help you on your reading journey, or your kids, that is. They should start by reading only the last word of every line and then work their way up to reading the whole story. So with tumbling rhymes and an infectious sense of humour, the weird and wonderful students at the School of Monsters are guaranteed to spark a love of reading. We actually had Sally Rippon, who is the author of these books, for a Facebook Live event last week at this time slot. So if you haven't seen that, go and check it out. She chats all about this series and some of her other work as well. These ones are illustrated by Chris Kennett, and I will show you some of the gorgeous illustrations. Really, you can open up any page of the book and you'll just see some great stuff in there. And Sally Rippon is one of Australia's best-selling and most beloved children's authors. You'll probably know her for her series and books, Billy B. Brown, Hey Jack, and Polly and Buster series. She loves to write stories with the heart as well as characters that resonate with children, parents, and teachers. There are 6 books in this series, and 4 out of the 6 have already been released, which is the 4 that I'm holding up now, and then the other 2 are set to be released later this year. So readers 6 plus will really enjoy this, and yeah, it's definitely a good one to help them start to learn to read and appreciate those rhymes. If you've just joined, I'm Natalie and this is Better Reading Kids. Tonight I'll be chatting all about the books that are on my desk, and I'd love to know what the young readers in your life are reading. Just leave a comment from wherever you're tuning in from, if that's Facebook or YouTube, and I'll try to get to as many as I can. So next up, we've got some middle grade books, and we've got quite a lot today. It's been a really good time for middle grade books, actually. We're getting lots of different things coming in. So first up, I've got Dragon Legend. This was our book of the week last week. Billy Chan was planning on who's the character of this book, he was planning on a summer most 12-year-olds dream about, bonding with his very own dragon, but Billy and his friends aren't having a very relaxing summer after all. Dylan has been kidnapped by an evil dragon of death, and it's up to his friend to travel back to the dangerous realm to save him. And then so begins an epic quest, but can good triumph evil? The book's charm, I think, lies in the nostalgia of the past in Dragon Realm, with character traits of strength and determination that transcend time, perfect for readers aged 9+. Katie and Kevin Seng, who are the authors of this book, it's co-authored by the 2 of them. They are a married couple, and they both write on their own, but they've come together for this series. It's their choice to get the friend group to travel through time is the ideal gateway to give necessary history and background to the series, and really elevates the storyline in an invigorating way. So yeah, this one is for readers age 9+. We have a comment from Deb saying, "My son is loving the Funny Kids series, also Bad Guys." Oh, that's so great. Yeah, they're great series, both of them. And I think we'll actually be working on the next Funny Kid coming up. So stay tuned for that. It's coming up in maybe a few weeks. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. We have another comment from Chantel saying, "My daughter is 6 and currently reading Dragon Mountain, and she loves it." We've got that one here somewhere around here, but yeah, Dragon Mountain, and then let her make sure she reads Dragon Legend when she finishes with that one. It's a great second one to the series. And then I'm pretty sure, I think it's Dragon City will be coming out in September, if I'm correct, this year. So keep an eye out for that. I'm sure we'll have it in our What Are You Reading then. But yeah, a great series, and she's just started it. So yeah, that's great. Next up, I think a lot of you will love this one for your young ones. It's called Bots and Bods. So you can take a fascinating tour of the human body and discover how a robot's body is just like yours. Bots and Bods explores the differences and similarities between humans and robots. you'll see the basic features of human bodies and how they're copied in bots. So for example, we've got this one here, some illustrations called legs and feet. And as you can see, here are the robots, and over here are skeletons, so human body. We've also got other different things like muscles and motors, and you see it sort of mimicked in both robots and humans. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I didn't really get to learn much about robots. We learned a lot about the human body, of course, but we didn't really get access to a robot's sort of parts and the way it works the same way that this book offers. It's also got some really nifty stuff like try this, and then it's got some think about this sections as well. And at the end, there are some answers to some quizzes. So it's really interactive and really helps kids to digest what they're learning. So you'll really learn about how movement happens, how the world is seen and sensed, and how humans and robots think it all through. So each page has fun facts and illustrations with, as I mentioned before, think about this and try this sections throughout, which really helps them absorb what they're reading. The book's facts help readers to learn things about their own bodies and then directly compare that to a bot's body. So as fun and informative as this book is, I really think it's equally as enjoyable for parents. So I'd recommend this one for readers 9+, but also parents, if you can read it with your kids, go for it, because you know what, you'll learn a lot more than you think you will as an adult. Next up, we've got this lovely book, if you haven't all seen it before. Sorry, the glare is really coming through, but it's called The Grandest Bookshop in the World. So this is about two characters, siblings, called Pearl and Valley Cole. They live in a bookshop, but not just any bookshop. It's 1893, and Cole's Bookshop Arcade in Melbourne is the grandest bookshop in the world. It's brimming with every curiosity imaginable. But when Pearl and Valley learn that Pa has risked the arcade and himself in a shocking deal with the mysterious Obscuro Smith, the siblings hatch a plan, and I guess you'll have to read it to find out what happens next. All of the action does take place within the bookstore, and much of it is based on the real rooms and attractions, architecture and design of the Melbourne store. Amelia Malloy, who is the author of the book, she creates a magical world within a bookstore set in the late 19th century. Her writing is quite cinematic and will appeal to today's readers, I think. Fans of movies such as Jumanji, which I know I was definitely, will revel in the imaginative exploits and time trip. This also won the Children's Book of the Year Indie Award this year. So readers 10+, if you can get your hands on it, go for it. It's an award winner. It's stunning to read, and I definitely recommend it for all readers. We've got a few more to go for middle grade. Lots of them all coming up. So first up, I've got Thunderbolt. So diving for lost treasure in Zanzibar, Jack and his friend's dive boat is lured into a trap by Somali pirates. They then transfer to a militia training camp for child soldiers, and the trio's only hope is Mo, who befriends them. But will Jack trust him? Again, you'll have to read this one to find out. It's set in the modern day in the Jack Courtney Adventure series, and it follows 14-year-old Jack Courtney and his friends Xander and Amelia on adventures across the world. If you're a Wilbur Smith fan, and he's written a lot of books, then you'll also know the Courtneys from his previous novels. Now they're back, but the focus is on the younger members of the family. So this is a great one to get your younger kids interested in Wilbur Smith's writing. And eventually, I guess, as they grow older, they can also grow up with some of his books and read some of his older books. The authors were inspired, so it's co-written by Wilbur Smith and Chris Wakeling. They were inspired to write this for a new generation of readers after seeing the action young people in the world today are taking. And this is certainly illustrated through Thunderbolt's themes of friendship, family, environment, and power. So again, if you're just tuning in, this is Better Reading Kids, and I'm Natalie. I'd love to know what the kids in your life are reading. So please feel free to leave a comment from wherever you're tuning in from, and I'll get to your comments when I can. So the last book I have here, we're actually doing a feature on this week, so keep an eye out in the next few days for a review. It's called The Quicksand Pony by Alison Lester. This book has been around for a while. It's was originally published in 1997, and this is the latest edition. It's a very Alison Lester-esque cover. So this is about, if you don't know the story, Bella the pony, who is trapped, and Biddy, who is the young girl over here, she's forced to go on without her. The next day, the only signs of Bella are some hoof prints in sand with small footprints and paw marks of a dog. Biddy's search leads to this discovery about a mysterious disappearance that happened many years ago. So Alison Lester's picture books are loved by families all around the world. In this timeless Australian children's classic, she proves herself as a born storyteller with this. So her much-loved first novel is now reissued, as you can see, and unmistakably it celebrates her 1 million sales with Allen and Unwin. It's a gripping horseback adventure that motivates and inspires readers aged 8+ to tackle the journey of life headfirst while taking on the challenges that they face in a sweet and sensitive way. There are actually 2 plot twists intertwined in this, and it makes for a storyline that pulls at your heartstrings and keeps you captivated from start to finish. And I think it's definitely one that kids will cherish, especially if you as an adult, you've read this book back when it was originally released, or if you read it growing up. It'll be definitely that sentimentality that's really throughout the entire novel will definitely shine through in your own life by, that nostalgia and your kids reading the same book that you've read. Last up, we've got Infinity Reaper. This is a YA book for readers 14+. It is a sequel to Infinity Son, which was a New York Times bestseller. In Emil's race to find an antidote that will save his brother and rid him of his own unwanted phoenix powers, he'll have to dig up into the very past lives he's trying to outrun. The battle for peace, it plays out like an intricate game of chess, but as Emil has been competing against the wrong enemy. So I was personally drawn in from the very first page. It's a consistent page turner. Adam Silvera creates a complexly built fantasy world with an alternate New York landscape constructed in a way that seems distinct to his vivid writing style. While the book may be set in an alternate reality, the diverse cast of characters, heroes, and villains and situations represents the good and bad aspects of life in a way that readers can comprehend. So this one is for readers age 14+. I do recommend reading the first book, but definitely get your hands on this one if you can. So that's all I have for tonight. We've had a really good range, a lot of middle grade books, not as many YA, but we do have some picture books as well. Keep an eye out for our book of the week tomorrow, which is actually Lookbook. This lovely one here, and then we've also got Quicksandpony. So we're going to have some reviews up for those ones. Check it out. We've also got a competition this Friday, which is a chance to win 5 copies of Lookbook. So definitely, if you'd like to get this one as a gift for someone or for your own little readers, then enter that one. The 5 most creative entrants will win one of these copies. We've also got story time this Friday at 10 a.m. Every Friday we have the story time. This week is Josh Pike reading Lights Out Leonard. We've got some exciting things happening on our page, so keep an eye out. We've got some more live events coming up with authors that will usually happen around this time slot, Tuesday, 8 p.m. And if I don't see you before then, I'll see you in a fortnight for this session all over again. Have a good night, and I'll see you then. Bye.